may reach $23.7 trillion. And then there's another article actually with a similar headline where it conclusively says it's over $23.7 trillion. But 23.7, 28, I mean, you know, it's all devastating. It's a financial black hole that's impossible to pay back. But I've got a Houston Chronicle detailed analysis here. Texas reaped $4.6 billion from federal stimulus. Of the $4.6 billion, 47,704 jobs were created. And that comes out to $96,727 per job. And the average job only paid the person around $30,000. So 2/3 of the money or more goes to the bureaucracy, goes to the select corporations that were given the lion's share of the money and the government agencies that doled it out. And most of those jobs, by the way, were in the government sector. And for every government job, it statistically, historically, takes 2 free market jobs away. This is even worse, though. If it cost $4.6 billion to get 47,000 jobs, and more than half of those were government jobs, so that'll cost further jobs, and those will be jobs that are now put into place, and then after the stimulus goes away, which it's already done, then they'll have to raise new local taxes to fund them. See, this is what the federal government does. It comes in, and it brings in police funding, education funding, highway funding, water district funding, and then 2 years later, or in some cases a year later like this, the money's gone, and they come in with lobbyists that say, okay, what you do is you privatize your water. You paid for these dams over the last 50-plus years. You paid in taxes to have the infrastructure built. Now we're going to privatize it, but it isn't really privatizing. It's like if the government came with guns and, you know, ordered you to hand your house over to a private interest. That's not privatization. And then they take over the infrastructure and then jack up prices. So they get the huge investment. In some cases, it goes back hundreds of years of the dams, the waterways, the water districts, the power systems, the roads. They get all that infrastructure for nothing to just administer it. And then they raise the prices to, quote, pay for all the new government jobs that were created. And that's the deal, is that then those private firms then give part of the money back to the government through government contracts. So it's the reverse. The bottom line is this is a planned, coordinated operation. This is just Texas, one of 50 states. American taxpayers have thrown $4.6 billion into emergency projects across Texas over the past 19 months to salvage the Lone Star State economy. So, it's salvaged our economy. Now, our economy is the best in the country because we have smaller government than any other state and more private property. I mean, Texas has the best economy in the country, and not that it's great, but it's better than others because we have smaller government, not because of government. So you see, you have to love that message there. You know, the illegal aliens help the economy. The feds help the economy. Yeah, that's like saying a case of gangrene helps your toes when they're falling off. Amid the nation's worst downturn since the Great Depression, that means each Texas job has cost taxpayers $96,727, according to a Houston Chronicle analysis of federal stimulus funds. And then it goes through all of the types of jobs and the rest of it, and I have several other reports up on prisonplanet.com and Infowars.com dealing with that. I have another big stack of news on the economy where all these private economists and major companies are saying this is a depression. Our earnings are way down. Unless you're in the banking sector, those are way up. Because it's a consolidation. It's a looting. But the Fed said yesterday, and we read the headline, they said that we left the recession in June of last year, that everything is wonderful. So what are you complaining about? Just more lies. And as the credibility of the government and the select group of corporations that have grown up around it drops, their answer is accelerate more lies, more corruption, more disinformation. So we'll be talking about all of that after the break. And then, of course, we're going to be discussing Obama's aunt. She says, quote, if I come here as an illegal immigrant, you have the obligation to make me a citizen. And that's what these illegals are told. They're told, you come here, You get on welfare, and you're going to be made a citizen, and you just vote to take these people's guns. And they say, absolutely, I'm ready to do it.
Making the right decisions is a challenge to investors. Are we going to see economic growth, slide into a recession, or at worst, depression? Hi, Ted Anderson from Midas Resources. We all know when a company acts irresponsibly, divesting ourselves in a move towards safety is prudent. When the market becomes volatile, U.S. Treasuries are a safe haven. But what do you do when the U.S. government overextends itself and spends beyond its means? Many investors are turning toward gold as a common-sense alternative to traditional paper investments. Midas Resources has put together a powerful book titled 10 Reasons to Own Gold, discussing costs, benefits, risks, featuring full-color illustrations, weights, and measures. The book is free and can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. Paper investments are dwarfed by gold's 6,000-year history. Discover how gold may be right for you and your IRA by calling 800-686-2237. Whether buying or it's time for you to sell, the book is free. Call 800-686-2237.
The question is, where should the American people draw their line in the sand?
What have we got? A republic or a monarchy?
A republic is based on a constitution which protects minority rights.
Not democracy, not mob rule, two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner.
So they think they own our land, they think they own our water, children, our education, our money.
We have to define who we are and what we will tolerate.
Somebody's going to ask you what you did during the Patriot Uprising.
You have been warned.
We have the facts. We have the Constitution. We have the Bill of Rights. We have common law. Knowledge is power, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm so excited to be able to offer you Don't Tread on Me, Rise of the Republic. Tyranny is upon us, but liberty and the sleeping giant that is the American people is rising. A new tool in the info war. Don't Tread on Me. Order it at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139 and support independent, patriotic Liberty films.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 5 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $209, and the Berkey Guy will include 3 Sport Berkey water bottles and ship everything to you free of charge. That's right, 3 Sport Berkey water bottles and free shipping. An $87 value, yours free. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
As gardeners, we can all relate.
What do you do with all of the excess food that you grow?
Freezing or canning may have been the process you've used, but the good folks at Excalibur Dehydrator have a healthy alternative to preserve the fruits of your labor. The Excalibur Dehydrator will help you preserve your fruits and vegetables quickly and easily, so you don't have to worry about premature spoiling. You can also use your Excalibur Dehydrator year-round to make delicious jerky. And the best part? The foods you dehydrate are free from excess additives, salt, and preservatives, and that's something we can all do without. To learn more and to order your very own Excalibur Dehydrator, visit drying123.com and see how the Excalibur Dehydrator can help you preserve your favorite foods.
Mention coupon code GCN and receive a free book on how to preserve your foods.
Again, that's drying123.com, drying123.com, or call 1-800-875-4254. That's 1-800-875-4254 today.
The federal government here in the United States has been researching a move to basically start taking your paychecks and running it through the federal government first, and they will take out the taxes. And, of course, so companies like ADP that process a lot of payroll won't get angry. The government will use private contractors to do it, so they still get their piece of the pie. But then select corporations will only get the job. The smaller payroll companies will be out of business. I have seen that in the literature proposed. They're officially trying to launch that right now over in the United Kingdom. And it's the exact same global corporate model. I remember 7 years ago, England started putting tracker chips in the trash cans that would scan basically what you were throwing away. They were hiring citizens to look through the trash at minimum wage to then tattle on you if you weren't recycling properly. That's now being implemented in multiple U.S. cities, the exact same system. So everything you see in England, the face scanning cameras a decade ago, the license plate reading cameras 15 years ago, now being implemented here. The microphones on street corners being called gunshot detectors. Now they admit, actually, we're listening to your conversations. It's a global government with global models. They develop the technologies. Their private companies are then given government contracts to make money out of surveilling you. Then they control all of the major tuitions they fund, the grants they fund, the scholarships, converting the economy over where if you want to go to college or get a job, it's going to be running these systems or developing these systems. What do we produce in America? Jail guards. Biggest prison population in the world. Biggest part of our economy now. Run and administered by major defense contractors. Who runs the face scanning cameras? Who runs the biometric thumb scanners to buy and sell? Who runs the license plate readers? Who runs the naked body scanners? Who runs the 500 plus? That was one purchase last year of mobile x-ray vans that shoot through your house. Super high power, dwarfing chest x-rays. Defense contractors. They are taken over. They've overthrown countless third world countries. Why shouldn't they overthrow this country? They've done it. Eisenhower warned us, a technological elite controlling the military-industrial complex. That's his full quote, not just the military-industrial complex. He talked about who controlled it. And already the biggest Army, Navy, Marine Corps recruiting centers, it's not the case for the Air Force, are in Manila, Philippines, Mexico City, Mexico. They're in Eastern Europe. And you go to a military base now, and they even put them in units together, it's just foreigners. And they're taught to hate this country. They're not brought here and taught to love it. And they're taught, you deserve free health care. You deserve to fly in from Mexico City or to fly in from China or to fly in from Eastern Europe and to instantly have your baby paid for and to instantly have full welfare and your whole family legalized. But if you're a skilled person from Australia or South Africa or Western Europe, it's almost impossible to come over here. Even the guy they want to host for Larry King Live, top British broadcaster, has had to suspend coming here till next year because he can't get a worker visa. But you're Obama's aunt. His whole family is over here. They're all illegal aliens. They've been here for decades. They get free welfare. They don't work. And when she gets asked about it, she says, you owe it to me. You owe it to me. This is the foreign army of weak, bedwetting parasites who are the voting army who are going to take your farm, your ranch, your guns, your kids, everything. And the SWAT teams are a bunch of foreigners. These federal army SWAT teams they're creating. This is hell. Just as the British 200 plus years ago landed German troops here. They now land a motley crew of foreigners and slap American flags on their arms, but teach them to hate this country. Now, we may not even be able to repair things even if you wake up and take action. But if you sit there and live in denial, it's over. Now, here is his aunt, the illegal alien, on welfare, saying, you owe me everything, scum. Here it is.
Zatuni Onyango lives in South Boston in public housing. She's unemployed. She collects disability and insisting her nephew never pulled any strings for her. Recently, she sat down for an exclusive interview with Jonathan Elias. And Jonathan, she's not making any apologies.
Jack, she makes none. In fact, she's very fiery. The mention of her name makes many in Boston angry. Angry because she is living off of a system that she's never paid into. Angry because she is from a family that is now very wealthy, yet she remains a burden to Massachusetts taxpayers.
If I come as an immigrant, you have the obligation to make me a citizen.
This is President Obama's aunt, a woman many say is the poster child of our broken immigration system.
All right, we'll be right back. And they always call it broken, and their solution is let billions in. And then Hollywood will produce movies where the foreigners hack us up with machetes. Of course, then, who's going to pay for all your welfare? That's the big dirty secret. Almost all these immigrants are on welfare.
We're on the march.
The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network. When you're out on the road, the last place